Hi, it's Bella again, and this is my vlog for GLP number 2 for the second interaction for TE150. And for this interaction, my partner and I, Jun Ma, who's from China, we went bowling actually. We just went bowling at the Union, and I decided to make bowling the interaction or the activity that we did together because Junma did mention that she had wanted to try it before because she's never done it before. And I also feel like it's somewhat of a more Americanized activity. So that's why I decided for us to go bowling. And the thoughts and feelings I pretty much had before and at the beginning of the event, I just pretty much felt nervous because I was afraid that maybe she wouldn't like it or she would feel uncomfortable, actually doing it. So I wasn't sure what kind of reaction I was gonna get out of her, but she actually ended up having a really good time. So that was really cool. The thing that I was most concerned about was actually teaching her how to bowl because I've never really taught anyone how to bowl before. And it was interesting because the only time I've ever really seen someone else teach another person how to bowl is when they're way younger or a little kid. Because that's normally when people in the United States bowl for the first time is when they're way younger. So having to teach a 23-year-old person how to bowl was really interesting. But it was really fun. And we actually ended up having to use what are they called? I'm drawing a blank. Bumpers, I guess. I think that's what they're called, so that her ball didn't keep going into the gutter. But so that was kind of a funny aspect, and we made a joke out of it, so that was really fun. It was a good time. So besides me feeling nervous at the beginning and a little bit before, that I really didn't, have any other concerns, I guess you would say, about the activity. The reactions that I got from Junma about bowling, like I said, she had a really good time. I had a good time. We laughed a lot. She definitely isn't afraid to kind of poke fun at herself, which I think made it a lot easier for both of us. So it didn't feel as awkward, or it didn't make it as hard for us to do the activity together. And hang out like actual friends. So that made it a lot easier for on my part, for her to act that way. So I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, she told me she was nervous a little bit before, even though it might not be that big of a deal. Like I said, she's never done it before. So as I was nervous, she was nervous too. But like I said, she did have a good time, and she told me she would do it again. She wants to go again and get better at it. So yeah, so that was the reaction I got of her during the event. So it was a good time. The adjustments in my behavior, feeling, or thinking during the event, like I said, I was nervous at the beginning, and then as time went on and we got further into the game, I got less and less nervous and more comfortable. Just hanging out with her, we were friends, and just communicating with her, helping her understand how the score works, and which pins mean what, and blah blah blah. So yeah, so that was fun, having to just, I guess, adjust my thinking from this is a project to, I'm hanging out with someone that I want to be friends with and be comfortable around and not be nervous, blah blah blah. So I had to try to adjust my mindset, I guess you could say, from a school setting to just a activity, I guess, or hanging out setting, because I didn't want to make it weird for her or for myself. So changing my mindset definitely made things a little bit easier. I think, and then the small insights that I had to, I guess, culture and other people, I think what really got me, like I said earlier, teaching an older person how to bowl because they've never done it before was really interesting, because like I said, I feel you always see little kids learning how to do it because it's such a norm of an activity here, whereas in China it might not be just on a Friday night you and your friends go bowling. They don't really do that often. And she had never done it before up until, very recently when her and I went. So I guess, differentiating, the norms of, activities, that's, the insight that I got out of it. And just kind of recognizing, the different, activities that people here and people in China do on, a regular basis with each other, and, what they find fun and what they might not find fun. So I asked her friends oh, if this was available to you back home, which it is. I just don't know how common it is. I asked her would you do it back home, and she said she would, but she couldn't really answer how into it her other friends would be, just because it's so almost foreign to them. It's not, like I said, it's not really a norm. So getting her opinion on that was really interesting. So like I said, comparing like the norms, I guess, like between countries is like the insight that I got out of it. But basically and overall, I had a really good time. During our second interaction, I really enjoyed having Junma as a partner, and she made things a lot easier. I think for not only herself but for me as well, with the way she, was open to doing activities and like answering all my questions and just giving me more insight about like her culture and like her life and how she grew up. So I've really enjoyed, this experience and this whole entire GLP project because it just, I guess, like taught me a lot about other cultures that I would have never really thought about to begin with. So it was really interesting and I really liked it, and I hope you enjoyed all my vlogs. All right, thanks. Bye.